messing around with blues for Alice. It's actually a 12-bar blues, but it doesn't look like one because I'll show you the little lead sheet in a minute. But basically, it's in the key of F, and it starts on an F chord, but it starts on an F6. Excuse me, I'm just getting over RSV. Just been taking medicine and coughing and a little bit of a mess from recent days. But it's in the key of F, it starts on an F6. And I think the reason that Charlie Parker kind of created it that way is because the melody is F, C, A, E natural. I think the E natural would have clashed if you just did a regular F dominant 7, which would be the normal thing for an F blues. So I always wondered, I've seen bird blues where it's like an F major 7 is the first chord in the key of F. This is F6 if you're looking at the real book. Let's take a look at the chords. So we're going to do F6 for one measure, E minor 7, A7, D minor 7, G7, C minor 7, F7, B flat 7, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A minor 7, D7, A flat minor 7, D flat 7, G minor 7, the 2 chord in F, to C7, the 5 chord in F. This A minor 7 is kind of a sub for F, going to D minor 7, 2, G minor 7, 5, C7, back home to F6. Take a quick look at the melody. Give you a look at this, but I know a lot of us guitar players don't really read standard notation too much. I'll kind of walk you through it as best I can. Nice melody, a little bit intricate, but very beboppy. All right, feedback, that's my cue to get back to the guitar. All right, so start on F, C, A, E, C, A, D, E, B, D, C sharp, B flat, G, A, F, D, G, A, F, E, E flat, G, B flat, D, D flat, F, F, G, F, C, B flat, F, A flat, B flat. That's a tough one right there to play. Again, that last measure is C, B flat, F, A flat, B flat, G, E flat, D flat, B flat, A flat, C, F, G, A, E, C, D, D flat. Now they have it as C flat, but it's actually, just think of it as an open B. B, E flat to B flat, A flat, G, F, 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 D, B flat, D, A, G, C, B flat, E flat. That's kind of a nice line right there because it's that sharp 9 is the E flat. Okay, so just beginning of that measure, A, G, C, B flat, E flat, and then we have C, A, E, G, D, B flat, D, A. So that's the head. I'll just play it one more time without the talking. Okay, that last thing I just threw in, don't worry about that. The ending is actually, okay? So now if we look at some ideas for soloing, to me everything goes by so quickly that it's better to keep things a little bit simple. So if we look at the idea of guide tones is just simply One example of it would be my first chord is an F6. I'm going to just focus on the seventh, the major seventh of that chord, which is going to be E. So I'm going to play the guide tones for the first few measures. Again, the chords are and the guide tones would be okay. So with guide tones, you can go a couple of different ways. You can start on the seventh of the first chord, move to the third of the second chord, the seventh of the next chord, the third of the next. That's one strategy. And then another way to go would be, in this case again, first chord is F6, so I'm going to grab the third instead of the seventh, which is going to be A. Okay, so we have A. Now I'm playing the guide tone on top with the chord underneath. Now we've got G. So let's go back and let's just pretend that we're just finishing up the melody. And now we're going to start on solo. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play an F major 7 right here. Okay? That's going to last one measure. Now following the guide tones idea, starting here with the seventh, F major 7, the seventh note is E out of that chord. Now we're going to move to D on top of E minor 7. Now we're going to move to, okay, so you have that. We're going to move to an A7 flat 9. So let me start that again. We've got the F major 7 with E on top. 2, 3, 4. We've got E minor 7 with D on top. It's like a little diminished shape with the pinky on the D flat, the 9th fret. And then we're going to continue down with C over D minor 7, B over G7, B flat over C minor 7, A over F7. Then we're going to go to this B flat 7. Now just for variety, what you can do is jump down to a barring the first 3 strings and playing the first 4 strings. So if you want, for a little variety, since this chord lasts a whole measure, you can do B flat 7, first 4 strings here, you're barring the first 3, B flat 9, back here. Then we've got A flat over B flat minor 7. We've got a G over E flat 7. Now we've got, I'm playing strings 2, 3, and 4. I've got G over A minor 7, F sharp over D7, F sharp over A flat minor 7, F natural over D flat 7, F, now just barring here on strings 2, 3, and 4, F over G minor 7, second string A is over the C7, and then just for variety, to cap it off, we're going to have G over A minor 7, but I'm going to jump up an octave. So we have G, G over A minor 7, F over D minor 7. Okay, so again, I'll do it this way since it's a little easier to see. This is an F over D minor 7, and then we've got F over G minor 7, and then we've got E over C7. So if we put that whole set of guide tones together, we're going to have 2, 3, 4. Now let's move into the other set of guide tones where we set out looking at the F major 6, and we're going to grab the third of the chord, A. So here we go. We're going to have A over F6. Now we've got the second string G over A minor 7. Second string G over this A7 flat 9. We've got the second string F over this D minor 7. We've got, let's not worry about the bass note right now. Let's just play this G13 with the E being our guide tone on the second string. C minor 7 with an E flat on the second string. And F13 with D on the second string. Now we're going to land on B flat 7, this bar chord, with D on the second string. Now we've got D flat over B flat minor 7, so it's this. D flat over B flat minor 7, just move the fourth string down, so it's a D flat over E flat 7. Now it's getting a little low, so let's jump up an octave, and we've got C over A minor 7. C over D7. Just add the middle finger on the third string if you want, and that'll flat the 9. So again, it's going to be C over A minor 7, C over D7, flat the 9. Then we've got B over A flat minor 7. So it's B over this A flat minor 7, just barring the 4th fret. Now I'm going to what's basically, it's a D flat 7 chord, but I'm going to do it as a D7 flat 9 with a 13. So I'm barring strings 2, 3, and 4. I've got the middle finger on the third string. I've got the pinky on the first string. And then G minor 7 with F on the second string. C7 with the E on the second string. And again, we're getting a little bit low, so let's go up to C over A minor 7, C over D minor 7, B flat over G minor 7, B flat over C7. And recently I was watching a nice video, very good video, I recommend, Frank Vignola. He was talking about how for 2-5-1s you can just focus on the one chord, and let's just say if it's a 2-5-1 in a major key, rather than always thinking of having to play arpeggios or always thinking of having to play the major scale for that key, you can use blues scales or minor pentatonics. So if we take a look, there's an awful lot of 2-5-1s here. You know, it starts at F6. Here's a 2-5-1 in D. Here's 2-5-1 in C. 2-5-1 in B flat. Okay? Then we hang on to B flat 7. Now this is kind of interesting. It's a series of 2-5-1s moving down chromatically. So we've got 2-5 in A flat, 2-5 in G, 2-5 in G flat, 2 for a whole measure now, 4 beats, 5 for a whole measure. You would normally expect to go to F here, but the way the real book has it is you do a sub for F, which is just A minor 7. 2, 5, and then you're back to the beginning. All right, so using Frank's idea, which is kind of nice because it can crack you out of your arpeggio craziness, or what, like my habit is just to always play chord tones, and then it just starts to sound like an exercise. So I'm trying to get away from that. So in terms of single note ideas, this is just a little line I came up with for the F6. So the F6, you do. Now, starting the second measure, it's E minor 7 to A7, which is a 2-5 in D. All right, so it's going to be, it never goes to the one chord, of course. That's the cool thing about the song too. It just never goes to the one. It just continually changes key. So after my little, starting with the E minor 7, the 2 chord in D, I'm going to go straight to a D minor pentatonic. moves down a whole step now. It's a 2-5 in C. Then it moves down another whole step. It's a 2-5 in B flat. Now we're going to hang for a whole measure on B flat 7. Now here comes another 2-5. It's going to be a 2-5 in A flat, followed by a 2-5 in G, followed by a 2-5 in G flat. So here again, we're going to apply the Frank principle, which is when we get to our B flat minor 7 heading to E flat 7, we're just going to think okay, so just to play that back again, 1, 2, 3, 4, F. Let me try that again. Okay, so just a couple of ideas on blues for Alice. Just give you a quick look at the guide tones. It's just a messy handwritten thing, but basically I just took the chord changes here, and the capital letters at the top are just the chord changes, starting with the F7. And here I was trying to figure it out. So if you think of a 12-bar blues in F, it starts with F, right? Granted, it's not an F7, but it starts with F. When you get to measure 5, it goes to the 4 chord, B flat. And ultimately, it goes to the 5 chord, which is C. So normally the C would be here. But as you know, anytime you have a C7, you can always put the 2 in front of it, which would be G minor 7. Okay, so the guide tone idea, GT is just guide tone. Again, as I said earlier, first chord is F. We can start on the 7th, which is E. Okay, then D, then C sharp, then C, then B, so on and so forth. The second track that I followed was, okay, instead of for the first chord grabbing the 7th, grab the 3rd, which is the A. So whatever this says here, A, G, F, etc., etc. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm trying to get better at this myself, so I thought I'd share some ideas I recently picked up. The Frank Vignola video was really excellent. I highly recommend any of his instructional videos. He has a nice way of just super simplifying everything and having you practice it right then and there. He'll play chords for you, and you just mess around with what he just showed you. So thanks so much for watching. Stay healthy and keep practicing, and I look forward to seeing you next time. All right, take care. Have a great day.